We're in it now.
We're back.
We're in it now.
We're in too deep before we even started.
I know that, like, switching back to the every 2-week model is, like, it feels like it takes us forever to put out an episode, but, like, the fact that we all found a moment in these last 2 weeks to sit down with each other is, like, kind of a fucking miracle. And I haven't even gone back to work yet. Like,
and Evan and I are both working. I work, like, 30 hours a week, so I'm here.
I just started a new job, so, like, I'm still getting, like, used to, like, my whole schedule and stuff, because I used to be a nighttime boy. I'm a morning time boy now.
yes,
Isn't
you
the
are.
morning shift kind of fun, though? Because then you get off at, like, noon or 1 or whatever, and you're like, I have the whole day ahead of me.
I know, like, I didn't mind Starbucks early shifts, but because I was a closer, I only ever really did that. But with this store, we close at either 5 p.m. or 3 p.m. So you're either in at 7:30 in the morning or you're in at, like, 9 or 10. So, like, it's been nice being able to, like, still have a whole day ahead of me, but oh my god, am I exhausted from waking up that early.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, same.
it'll wipe you out.
I understand.
But yeah, we're back. We're still in season 3. We're very excited to still be in season 3. We've gotten a decent listenership these last couple of weeks. Our numbers are up from what they used to be.
Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you the people love us.
The people
They all cheered.
love us.
We're no viral sensation, but we love our little group that tunes
No, we
in
have
every
like
week from,
we have
like,
a small little group of friends now. Like, it seems like the same people are coming back.
We're only on season 3. I am manifesting one of our episodes just goes crazy. Maybe it's this one. The people will love us because they'll be like, oh my god, they talked about this one.
Maybe it's this one because this episode we're talking about season 3, episode 6, Cascading Failures.
It's like, as sad as it is, this is genuinely probably the best, other than Emily, episode of the entire series. This is the best episode.
I will put 506 up against it, but I pretty
True.
much agree. Yeah.
But like, and because like Emily is like so many good things, like we're on a little, you know, because it's like the second to last episode of season 4, which is the best season objectively. Yeah. And then 506, it's like the converging of all the story, because 506 is like ultimately all about Ian.
Yes,
and everybody's involved with Ian, and that's why it's one of the greatest. But like, Emily's great because there are all these really good storylines going on, like, at the same time. Cascading Failures is great because there's a bunch of different storylines converging now.
Yeah, like the title of the episode meant something to what was actually happening in the episode.
Yes, and then when they're when they name drop the title, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So before we get into it, before I even get into like when it aired and stuff, I know it spoils what happens later, but we do need to put a trigger warning on this episode, because this episode we will discuss sexual assault, the rape of Mickey Milkovich. So if that kind of discussion about that is not okay for you, just let you know, like, that is going to happen in this episode.
And what we can do is put in the description where we probably start talking about it, so people know if they want to still listen to the episode, you can just skip through that part.
Yeah, and if not, I'm gonna say in the episode, like right before we get there, I have it in the notes to remind you again what we're about to talk about.
Awesome.
So you can listen to the whole, it's not until like way late into the episode, but I will tell you again like right before we talk about it. So yeah.
Awesome.
But this is season 3, episode 6, Cascading Failures. I won't lie. This is one of the ones that when we started the podcast, I'm like, I can't fucking wait until we get to this episode.
It's just so good. It's so such a good episode.
It aired on February 24th, 2013. It was written by Alex Borstein. This is the last of 5 Shameless episodes Alex wrote. So she went out with Cascading Failures.
She wrote all the best ones. She wrote all good ones too. Like, it's not even, she's just like, I'm amazing actually at everything she does.
Yeah.
Everything she does, she's amazing.
Now, my thoughts on this episode are complex going back to watch it, because it is really, really good, but there's a lot of storylines that felt like really weird to be existing in the same space with each other, and like we'll touch on it, but like what happens with Mickey and then what's happening with V and her family, the scenes happening like right after the other felt like really fucking jarring to me. And
there's no warning.
Yeah, and like Jimmy and Fiona, because this is kind of like the downfall of Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Like it's the beginning of the downfall of Jimmy. Well, I guess maybe more the next episode when we go to court. But yeah.
But Alex was also a producer on 35 episodes of the series through the end of season 3. and she was an actress on The Marvelous Miss Maisel, won awards for it. Workaholics, she's Lois from Family Guy, etc., etc. We love Alex.
She's just brilliant and perfect.
This episode was directed by Anthony Hemingway. This is the 4th of 7 Shameless directing credits he has, including Emily. Anthony Hemingway, bitch. Like,
do you remember the other episodes?
Season 2, episode 5, Father's Day. He did The American Dream, episode 2 of this season, and Cascading Failures. Emily, Crazy Love, season 5, episode 6.
Ooh.
Oh my god, all of your episodes, Amanda.
Season 6, episode 11, Sleep No More. And season 8, episode 2, Where's My Meth?
Oh, Where's My Meth is so good.
Where's My Meth is such a good episode.
He also did one episode of Glee, The Rise and Fall of Sue Sylvester.
Yes, he did. He also directed on American Crime Story, True Blood, Treme, The Newsroom. He is booked and busy and does quality television. He did Emily, he did season 5, episode 6, and he did Cascading Fucking Failures.
This man.
So this is a dream team. This is Alex Borstein and this director. Like, that's why this episode hit so much, because it was written and directed by fucking ballers.
2 people who knew what they were doing.
Yeah. The synopsis of this episode: a government agency threatens the cohesion of the Gallagher clan. That's a weird way to say CPS has entered the room.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kev and Veronica recruit V's mother as a surrogate, and Terry catches Mickey and Ian in a compromising situation. Again, we will add a trigger warning right before that scene happens.
Yeah, these episode descriptions are always so weird because they come out a couple, like, for press reasons, they come out a couple weeks before they actually air. So they don't want to, like, spoil, like, what's going to happen, because it's like a government agency. Mm-hmm. Oh, which one? You know? Because they're wrapped up in tons of different things. Like, that could mean somebody one person got arrested and is going to jail.
But they also forget, not 2 episodes ago, we literally watched Frank make a CPS call too.
Yeah.
And like, I remember...
But they've also been digging up Ginger's bones. It could be the police and the FBI and Social Security.
Yeah, we had episode descriptions like this season come out like 4 episodes in advance. Remember when we got all those? It was like episodes like 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10. And we were just like...
What is going on?
Friends, I feel like we keep stalling.
No, I know. That's why it's like it has to be intentionally vague. This is going to be a hell to edit. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So the previously on was done by Fiona, like she was in the backyard in the last episode holding up Ginger's leg bone. It was very good. One of the first Fiona ones we've had in a while. It's been Frank for a while. So previously on Shameless, they had to dig up the yard to find Ginger's body before the city did, because they were redoing the water mains. Jimmy has gay daddy issues, and Fiona doesn't have fucking time to deal with it. She's got shit to do. V, it's really likely V can't get pregnant, so they convinced her mom to be their surrogate. Ian and Mickey finally kissed last week and stole a bunch of shit from Lloyd's house, and Mickey got shot in the ass. We get a flash of Monica running out on the family again after Frank broke her out of the hospital, just I guess to remind us where Monica is. Frank drunkenly called CPS on the family, and CPS in the last week showed up while Mickey was having ass surgery and Fiona was digging up the body in the backyard. And then we go to the title sequence. So we open on Brittany Sturgis, aka everybody would know her as Lane Kim from Gilmore Girls. But Brittany Sturgis is the character's name of DFS, taking the kids away from the house. Jimmy pulls up as the kids are being loaded out because he's got no fucking idea what was going on, because last episode we saw him off with Estefania after having sex with Estefania.
Yeah, Fiona wasn't listening to him, so he's like, I'm gonna go have sex with my wife.
So Fiona is reassuring the kids. Like, we start off, it's really somber. Fiona's reassuring the kids, it's not going to be long that you guys are going to be gone. And she asks Brittany, she's like, who reported us? This is crazy. Who reported us? And Brittany's like, I'm so sorry, by the book. She won't tell. And she just takes the kids and drives away.
Yeah, she's new.
Yeah. She's very by the book. She's trying to be proper because she's been taught that that's the best way to handle this situation, even though it very, very much isn't. At Sheila's house, she's handing off baby Jaime to Frank as Frank tries to make a break for it, because Frank still doesn't know that they found Ginger's bones and he thinks he might get arrested.
This is my favorite scene.
Yeah, so he's trying to get the fuck out of there. And she's handing over Jaime, and she's like, and if you're doing laundry, can you put in some of Jaime's onesies in? Might as well. You both smell like pee-pee.
And like that's
doesn't Bill just go ha ha ha?
Yeah, he's like deadpan. He's like ha 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 ha, and then she's like ha 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 ha. It's so funny. It's so good. Like honestly, like there's a block of episodes like between this episode, the episode prior, and the next episode where like the Sheila like one-liners just like. They're too good. They're too good. Yeah. And especially like her Jody stuff, like all of Sheila in this like block of season 3. Beautiful.
Well, because it is like they really fleshed out her character because Karen is gone, so there's really no like huge reason why we have to be following her storyline. But they fleshed out her character so that we would want to follow her storyline.
Yeah, and actually be interested in her because she's amazing.
Yeah, they pretty much made the Jaime and Frank connection so that they could just keep referring back to Sheila all the time, which was really nice. Joan and Bill. They're really funny because it's Joan Cusack and William H. Macy. Like, of course they're hilarious.
Amazing actors.
Both talented actors given, like, 2 different characters on, like, 2 different ends of, like, a spectrum and then just getting to see that. Like, they're so good.
So Frank puts the baby down and apologizes for ditching him because he, like, genuinely does like hanging with Jaime. He's just like, I've got to get the fuck out of town because I might get arrested if they find that body.
This man just leaves the baby on the bed unattended.
He likes babies. Out. He's just like, I have to go.
She's like, I'm busy.
Sorry.
At the Gallagher house, Fiona she's cleaning up the mess in the kitchen that comes with, ass surgery and having 12 million kids in the house. When she realizes, oh fuck, I have work in 10 minutes. And Jimmy is surprisingly helpful. And he's like, I'll take care of it. I'll do the dishes. You just go to work. Because I think it's guilt. And I think it's him like trying to reel back from the stupid daddy issue shit he had going on yesterday.
Not to sidetrack again, but I'm curious about the timeline. Is this the next day?
I think it's the next morning, yeah.
I think it has to be the next morning.
And they were just like, okay, we'll leave and come back, actually.
No, I think it's very much Brittany came in, assessed, saw what was happening, went back, and CPS said we have to take the kids. Like, I think it was at least a day.
But I was, like, curious as if she would be like, I'm staying here so that you don't, like, try to make a break for it. I'm calling the van to come get them kids, go pack a bag. And then Mickey's like, ass out on the table, like, sorry, guys, I have to go.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I think we are to believe that it's the next day because later in the episode we also hear that Fiona had time to dump Ginger's bones. So I think it's been at least a night since that happened.
They probably like did the evaluation and then she was like, I will see you guys tomorrow morning bright and early.
And Fiona was like, how am I gonna get out of this one?
Yeah, but in the CPS van, Lip says this isn't their first time getting scooped up by CPS, and he and Ian give the rundown of what they know, like usually happens.
I love this scene.
They're like, Liam will go to a nice family who's always wanted a baby, and Debbie and Carl will get put together because they like to keep siblings together, and Ian and Lip will get thrown in with some weird foster fam. And they're like, but they know how it's gonna go because they've been through this so many times, because the system works super well if they've been through it so many times and nothing has changed.
And also, apparently, canonically, the Milkoviches have never been in the system.
Except, yes, they have. In season 10, they say they have.
Mickey and Sandy going to the foster to family services for a year, but Mandy surprisingly has never been in the system
because the writers forgot.
Yeah, we like tried to like come up with where Mandy went like a couple episodes back.
We tried to make excuses for them when the fact is they just forgot.
They just forgot. That's what happens when you just jump writers and don't tell your writers to watch other episodes.
Yeah. But Brittany Sturgis tells them, actually, this time's going to be different. They're actually going to place Liam and Carl together, and Debbie is going to be put all by herself in a separate home. And Lip and Ian are now too old to be placed in a foster home, so they're going to a level 4 group home.
What kind of blew my mind about that, because they weren't...
I thought it was level 14.
Oh, yeah, level 14, sorry.
Like, my one thing was, like, really... I was, like, so confused is that because they weren't taken out of, like, a hostile situation created by them, they weren't, like, juveniles, like, they weren't, like, sent to juvie or anything, but to be put in such, like, a strict, like, almost prison-like thing, that's what shocked me.
It only made sense to me because Lip is on community service right now. It made sense to me for him to go.
Yeah, Lip has priors.
But Ian is literally in ROTC, has a regular job, has not been in trouble with the law. Like, why would Ian get put in that place? Just to keep the siblings together? Like, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, they probably figured that because his brother is such a delinquent and they're so close that Ian probably does stuff, he just hasn't been caught. Which is true. But it is just like, I don't know. I mean, they caught this man like in the midst of like a robbery with some surgery going on in the kitchen. They're probably
That's
like,
true.
yeah,
That's true.
I think he should go there. Plus, if he's like ROTC, then he's tough. He can definitely handle it.
Yeah. So Fiona, because of the chaos of the morning, gets to work late and goes back to the manager's office, and he's like, "You're late," because he's an asshole. And she's like, "Can I skip my shift today? My kids were literally taken by CPS and I need to go find out where the fuck they are." And then, Lena, I know you said this is one of your favorite lines from Bobby, the manager. "Would you look at this?" It pointing to his back. "It's filthy. My back is filthy because you haven't washed it. So why should I wash yours?"
I hate him, but good line.
I hate this man, but the character actor who plays him is like so brilliant sometimes.
And he tells her, he's like, if you can't find coverage for your shift, if you can't skip your shift, even though your siblings have just been pulled by DFS, because that's how capitalism works, because workers are disposable and apparently not human fucking beings. You got in a car accident? Cool. So you're gonna be late, or you're just gonna be 5 minutes late to your shift, even though your car just got totaled? That's fine.
Yeah, and she's like, you know as well as I do that none of these bitches are gonna cover for me.
Yeah. So, she's like, she tries to last minute, she's like, "I'll still send that video to your wife." And he's like, "Well, I'll tell DFS you show up to work high every day and steal from the register, and all the girls will back me up." And he's like, "And I'm gonna need you to quit so that I don't have to pay unemployment because of firing you." It's super fucked up.
He is evil.
He's nasty.
So now her kids have been taken, because they're her kids. Her kids have been taken, and now she doesn't have a job anymore. Super cool. So Lip and Ian get dropped off at the group home, and Lip assures the little kids, like, they hug all Carl and Debbie and Liam, and they're like, "Everything's gonna be fine.
So cute.
We're gonna be back together in a few days." I love when Lip and Ian are big brothers. Like, they're always big, but when they're like, get to be big brothers for a minute, oh, it's so good.
And that went away, like, in, like, I would say, like, season 7 or 8, that whole dynamic between all of them, like, went away, where it was like, oh, my big brother, like, my big brother Ian, my big brother Lip, like, my big strong brother. That just, like, went away. It was like, this is just some guy I know.
It's just some dude I live with.
Some guy.
You get back to glimpses of it between Liam and Lip and Liam and Ian in seasons 10 and 11. Like,
and Carl and Ian, like, once or twice, but it's like, this is just some guy I know.
Yeah. So yeah, they're put in a delinquents and deviants group home. They have to turn over their money and their cell phones, so that's why they put their money in their socks, so that they could keep some of it. They're getting put into juvie. That's
like, that just, like, blows my mind. Like, you are being taken away from your household. CPS is called not because of you, but because of your home life, and they're like, "Okay, cool, we're gonna go put you in mini prison."
Yep.
Well, didn't the guy say that they could earn their wallets and phones back once they've acclimated? Because they have to spend a couple days there so they can be like, okay, these guys are going to play by the rules. They can have their shit back.
Yeah. And then at the foster home that Debbie's getting dropped off at, Brittany is interviewing the foster mom, and she's like, "I'm actually, like, a little concerned that you have too many children here already, and, like, how can you adequately look after all of them?" And in front of Brittany, the foster mom is like, "I take in as many kids as you can give me, because all kids deserve a loving, beautiful home." And she gives Debbie a hug. And Brittany still isn't convinced, so she goes to Debbie and gives her card. She's like, "If there's any problems, you could reach out to me. Here's my card." And then she, like, reluctantly leaves. And turns out her reluctance was right, because this woman is a bitch.
I think, isn't it
Mama
also
Kamala.
super, like, unprofessional? Like, I feel like it definitely is highly illegal to have that many kids when you're not even, like, a certified, like, foster home almost. She's just, like, taking in.
No,
like,
she's a certified foster home. That's why
No,
DFS is dropping people off with her.
Oh,
but
true.
also it's like,
It's only her, so I feel like that definitely is, like, could be another factor, being, like, all of those kids and it's one person.
one adult. I don't understand why Brittany would be like, I mean, obviously this is like it makes sense, but when you really think about it, why she would be like, "Here's my card with my phone number." Debbie is like 11. How is she going to get a phone?
Yeah.
Especially if Mama Kamala turns out to be a bitch, which she is. There's no way she's going to let her have access to a phone.
And I feel like if you're a social worker and your initial instinct is to not want to leave that child with that home right away, maybe walk back out the door with that kid.
Yeah.
Don't leave her there.
The ultimate message of this episode is the system is broken. Like,
yeah. Even Debbie is like, it's fine.
because Debbie is putting on that, like,
I'll be okay.
that Gallagher spirit of, like, everything's gonna be fine. So
Debbie breaks my heart in this episode, low-key.
yeah, it turns out that this woman, Mama Kamala, total bitch, she takes Brittany's card from Debbie immediately, and she takes the, like, plastic shopping bag that all of Debbie's belongings are in and just takes them from her. And then it's a daycare. She pretty much gone from what she was doing at her house to just a worse situation doing the same thing. And she goes to mind the kids. And the one other girl that's like around Debbie's age that's there, it's like, you're never getting your stuff back. And Debbie's like, yeah, no, I know. I'm aware. I'm like,
That girl is so cute that she becomes friends with.
But meanwhile, Carl and Liam are on the north side being put with an interracial gay couple who always wanted an interracial baby. And they took Carl as a consolation prize.
My one thing that kind of pissed me off is literally from the get-go, those adults are like, we took you in because we had to, we're only gonna keep an eye on Liam, we're gonna get rid of you eventually.
Well, they're like, oh, well, if all goes well, we'll adopt Liam and maybe we'll adopt you too. It's like, you don't make him feel very wanted.
Yeah.
No, he does not. Fucking Cassius and Lanier.
Yeah.
Those fucking names. Literally
Cassius
gave
and
them the
Lanier.
stupidest names.
I do have beef with, like, every time that there's a gay character that isn't Ian and Mickey on the show, they're like a stereotypical, like, limp wrist
They
gay.
make me hate them. They're fucking annoying.
But, like, remember an episode ago when Carl was filled with nothing but gay sex questions and now he's been put with a gay couple? So he just is continuing with the gay sex questions.
I love it.
Cosmic.
The kid is, like, he it's so funny because obviously Carl doesn't know, like, where the line is, so like all of the way he just like says everything is so casual, and it makes it better because he's just like,
he's generally a little bit sociopathic. Like they had his character be a little bit like emotionless in the first couple seasons, because they were like, oh, Carl's gonna like future serial killer, and then that like went away. But so it is like he's straight up just like, I got no emotion about it.
Yeah,
tell me the facts right now.
So over to the DFS office, Fiona goes to see Brittany, and she's like, I would like to know the addresses of where all the kids are. And Brittany's like, well, you can't have that yet. And Fiona's like, well, the old caseworker gave it to me right away so I could make sure they had like clothes and food and stuff. And Brittany's like, well, she shouldn't have done that. Fiona's like, okay, I know that you think you're doing a good thing here, but you're not. These kids have a big sister who loves them, and I just want to make sure they're okay.
That's how I feel.
That gets at Brittany, and she folds, and she tells Fiona that she split the kids up and gives vague information about where they all are, but doesn't give her, like, any addresses. And Fiona's like, if I can find one family willing to take all the kids, can they be placed together? And Brittany's like, in theory, yeah. And this is where we remember that V and Kev are certified foster parents.
Well...
Meanwhile, the alibi, Frank is trying to track down like this trucker girl that he knows to try and take him out of town.
Lesbian trucker.
Because he still thinks that the ginger bones are in effect. And then we go to V and Kev's place. They're setting up for a cam show. And Fiona says, she's like, DFS took the kids. Can you talk to your foster lady and see if you can take in all the foster kids? And V's like, why can't they just be released into your care? You're 21 now. Like, you can be their legal guardian. And Fiona's like, yeah, but I have to file for guardianship to do that. So, like, they can't just be released to her. They have to be released to a foster family first. And V's like, of course. And she's gonna try and take in all the kids. She's like, I'm gonna be a lone black dot on the map of Gallagher, Ireland. I'm like, I love
a map of Ireland. Well, and she's like, oh, 5 Gallaghers in my house. It's like, you live right next door to the other house. They can just sleep over. It's not a big deal.
They walk into the Gallagher house more than the Gallaghers walk into their house these days, so...
So true.
Like, V, she, like, hems and haws about it, but, like, there's no doubt that she's gonna do it. It's like with your best friend. Like, if they ask you to do a thing, you're gonna bitch about it, but, like, of course, you're gonna do it. Of course you're gonna do it.
Yeah, you're gonna actively complain, but also be happy to do it for them.
Yeah. And then at the group home, Ian asks if Lip's last group home was like this. It's like bunk beds in one big room. It's like juvie. And
it literally looks like the prison setup that Fiona was put in.
That Fiona was in with all the beds in one room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Lip's like, no, this is, the last group home I was in was a fucking home. This is juvie. This is ridiculous. And some guys come up and tries to cause issues. They call Ian that chick from Brave, just to put a timestamp on when this was released. That chick from Brave. And Lip's like
such a dumb ginger joke that they could have do so many other better ginger jokes. Cause like Brave has like long, big hair, but I'm like, he a shaved ass head.
Well, Cameron is so sensitive about ginger jokes that I'm like, this is his villain origin story. He had that joke made about him probably for multiple takes, and he was like, I'm so mad right now.
But they call him that chick from Brave, and they're like, what, is this your boyfriend? And Lip's like, no, this is my brother. Here is the money from my sock. back off and we'll be cool. We don't cause problems. You don't cause problems. Everything's gonna be fine. And the guys go away and Ian's like, you're like a fucking cockroach. You're able to live anywhere and feed off of anything.
That's what I love about Liv. That's what I love about him.
His Frank-like qualities coming through.
Like father, like son, man.
And Fiona gets home, and it's a mess, but it's also like more empty than we've ever seen it. And so I love these moments of like the quiet house of Fiona just going about her business. And she starts to fold the laundry and finds one of Liam's onesies, and we get an Emmy Rossum ugly crying face.
The ugly cry.
God.
We love an ugly cry. Like, it's so good. I love it so much. I love watching her break down. And she hears the front door open, and she calls out, Jimmy? And V goes, darker.
I love her.
Especially because, like, V, it's so funny because V and Jimmy beef all the time. V kind of hates him.
Yeah.
She genuinely kind of hates him.
I just love this episode is like so upsetting, but then little moments like that, I'm like, oh, it's funny too, though. Jimmy, darker. So V says, she's like, I'm so sorry, Fiona. Like, we're being denied. We can't take the kids in. And then we get a weird, like, foggy flash. Like, it's laggy.
They do that again later in the episode, though, when Terry comes in.
Yeah, like
they do that again, but that's more like shock.
Yeah, this is like a flashback. There's a weird like visual fog over it, and it's like the visuals are slowed down and laggy.
It's like that one filter on TikTok.
Yeah.
They used to do that in the first season though, but fucking Andrea.
Yeah,
her
the white
foster lady.
agent putting on the black voice.
Oh my god, and like my favorite thing is when she's like talking to V and Kev, and V's just like,
is your voice dressed up for Halloween?
Yeah. And they're being denied because the case with Ethel, they're still being looked into as to like why Ethel ran away. So they can't take in the Gallagher kids. And Fiona's like, all right, then we need to get the house in shape for inspection, and I need to find either Monica or Frank as a parent to display for the kids. Like, she's going through a checklist. She knows how this works now. And then at his foster dad's house, Carl is watching gay porn and gets scolded and brought up on the roof. I'm sorry, you brought 2 little kids in your house. Hide your porn better. What do you want? Hide your porn better.
Yeah, all he did was go on the TV.
If you own porn on VHS, that's your fault.
I don't think it was VHS. I legit think it was just like on demand.
Oh yeah,
because they're rich and they do like on demand.
But like
stuff.
if you're bringing in little children, put a child lock on your shit. This feels like a you problem. Hide your shit better.
Yeah. Plus, it's like, I mean, he obviously knows what sex is.
Yeah.
He's like looking at it like mouth open, like squinty eyed, just like watching it, like, huh? My favorite thing is when he asked his foster brother, and he was like, does poop get stuck on the tip of your dick?
Yeah. Just asking gay sex questions over dinner on the roof. And then at the Gallagher house, Fiona, she's going through everybody's rooms looking for contraband. She's looking for drugs, porn, weapons, anything that would be a no-no on an inspection. And then we get like a speed through, like we stay in one room and we just watch her clean the whole house. They're just showing us that she cleaned everywhere, and they just didn't want to waste time.
To film that, though, they had to have Emmy clean the house for real.
Yeah.
That is so embarrassing.
And you know, like, sped up stuff, like, that was at least, like, a good
20 minutes,
while.
Something like that. Yeah. That's embarrassing.
Jimmy comes in saying Jimmy filled in the holes in the backyard, so we get, like, a little off-screen, just a little acknowledgement that the yard is fixed up. And look, Jimmy being helpful.
Yeah, Jimmy doing actual labor for once.
For him.
Fiona calls Monica's mom, her grandma, to ask where she is, and she pretty much has to remind her grandma who she even fucking was. No dice, no Monica, no location. Monica's out of the question. So Fiona's like, well then, god damn it, I have to find Frank. And Jimmy offers to help, and then somehow Fiona is the one apologizing for the way she acted about Jimmy's gay dad thing.
I don't think he made her apologize, though. I think she literally was just like, I feel bad about this, actually, about the way things happened. Like, because it's like, because then Jimmy's like, no, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, because like she obviously,
I was being an idiot.
She like probably feels bad for more so just like screaming and creating a
what
scene.
She said to him.
But not like how she doesn't give a shit about his gay dad, because enough.
Yeah. But to his credit, Jimmy at least admits that he's got to suck it up and move on. And then he's like, hey, bright side, the house is empty. We're both home. Like, he tries to cheer her up. And she's like, not the time, my guy. It is not the time.
Wow, thank you so much. That Estefania sex totally put him in the mood.
No, it's so funny because it's like, characters on Shameless are so famous for having sex in weird situations when it's like not really appropriate either. Like, it's like, you shouldn't be horny right now.
Yeah.
But then the one time where it's like you would totally expect her to do that, she's like, I'm not horny.
Yeah. And then at the group home, Ian keeps getting picked on by that one kid that seems to have an issue with him.
Maybe he's a little, you know.
For everyone who obviously can't see our recording right now, we all limp wrist.
At the same time.
You know, maybe he's got a little crush on Ian.
But at the group home, he keeps getting picked on. But Ian has proof of employment for the cash and grab. So his proof of employment means he gets to leave the group home and go to work. And Lip still has community service hours to fulfill, so he gets to leave to go do those. And the guy who runs the home thinks Lip is arrogant and thinks that Lip thinks he's better than everyone else. He does.
Yeah, duh.
And
wasted potential.
Lip brushes the guy off. Lip is not taking any of it seriously, but Ian is like clearly upset and does not like being there and is not vibing with that place and needs to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that guy is also just like, I understand like because they're in that situation, the guy has to be pretty tough to like talk to the other boys and stuff like that, but like he's just like so nasty towards them when they're just like talking at the dinner table. Obviously they're giving him shit back.
Yeah.
But like it's just like he's so like all up in their faces and I'm like, those boys, what did they do?
Yeah.
Ian though is just like, I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. I don't like when people are mean to me, actually. And Lip is like, I'll be mean right back.
But meanwhile, Kev and V, they're at the Alibi, they're restocking, they're putting the new kegs up and everything, and Kev is like, Ethel fucked up our kid credit, and V's like, maybe it's a sign we need to step it up in the surrogate department, and they like talk about trying with her mom again, and find Frank asleep in the stock room, because he had made a deal to leave the next morning with his trucker friend, and of course Fiona knows exactly where to find Frank. She comes into the Alibi, he's like taking a swig from a pint, she takes it out of his hand and puts it down, she's like, and you're on the wagon, because you need to help get the kids back.
He's like screaming at her when she takes it.
Yeah, and Frank's like, I need to get the fuck out of town because of Ginger's bones. And Fiona's like, I found Ginger's bones. I threw them away, and now you need to help me.
Yeah, she's like, congratulations, Ginger died.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting the house.
So she threatens to rat him out anyway. She's like, yeah, I dumped him, but I know where the fuck they are. And every time Emmy and Bill get to just like scream at each other, love it. Great energy.
Dinner.
Yeah, because she like throws a bar stool. She's like, God damn it, I need you right now.
She gets so mad. It's so funny when he's trying to leave and Jimmy takes the bag from him. He's like, that looks heavy. Do you want me to carry it for you? Another thing, I think I don't remember when this scene was, but when he actually sits down and talks to the trucker woman that he's going to go with.
That was a couple scenes prior to this.
And she goes, what do you want, Frank? And he goes, the same thing as you. Free pussy and a life on the road.
Yeah.
Classic.
King shit. The ally we need.
Very butch, very lesbian truck driver. It's great.
Smoking a cigarette, just being like, what do you want, Frank?
So Frank, because he always has an air of superiority about him, sees fit to set conditions on helping get the kids back. And he's like, I will help you if I get free roam of my own house. And she's like, you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. Just come with me and help me.
Didn't they establish later that he actually forgot that he was the one who called?
I don't know. They don't address that call until the end of this episode.
But I think in the next episode, she's like, you did it. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, I didn't. Like, and it's like he blacked out or something. Like, he doesn't remember. He was too drunk.
Yeah, it's hard to, especially with like the writing and how Frank is. It's so hard because it could honestly be played as either or. Like, he's just intentionally denying it so he makes himself look better versus him blacking out and forgetting he did it when he was drunk because obviously he was at the Alibi and drinking. But who knows? Because it's Frank, he does whatever like goes for him is what he'll say.
Yeah. So she convinces him to come with her to visit Lip and Ian at the foster home. And meanwhile, Carl is stealing shit from his foster dads, putting it in like a shoebox and stealing shit while Liam's sitting on the bed. And Carl's like, don't worry, Liam, we'll be out of here as soon as possible. And until then, I'm going to steal all of their shit. I'm like, good for you. Because these guys are assholes. Steal their shit. Good for you. So Fiona meets Ian and Lip on their way out for the day. And she gives them a hug and she lets them know everything's going on. They let her know everything that's going on. And Lip's like, don't worry about us. We're fine. Worry about the smaller kids. Like, we're good here.
They have such a sweet moment when they hug her when they first see her. They're so excited to see her.
It's literally been a day, but it's so sweet.
And then later when they hug her again and Frank goes, where's my hug? And they both flip him off.
Yeah. And she's got that like proud mom smile on her face. So cute. But yeah, they're like, don't worry about us. Like, they're very much not fine, but they're like, we're the big kids. Don't worry about us. Get Get to the little
Yeah.
kids.
They'll
Everything's gonna
be
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be fine. They can get around.
Lip is a fucking cockroach. They'll be fine.
Yeah. You know who isn't fine? Debbie, who is running yet another daycare with her fellow foster kids.
Poor girl. I hate Debbie.
We literally just get a scene of her, like, serving up mac and cheese. Like, just...
It's not even like mac and cheese. It's like gruel. It's literally
It's
just like
stew.
slop.
It's something. And then they're like, grab a cup of Kool-Aid from the table. And also, the weird thing is, like, this season 3 was kind of interesting because Emma was growing up a little bit, so her voice is like really raspy. And
yeah,
it's like,
she sounds like a
Emma.
smoker.
Yeah, little Emma.
But you know who is fine? Shut up. Noel looks good in his vest. Shut up. It's good.
He does. His arms are rippling. Like, you know, he's like...
He and Ian restocking the cash and grab, doing their jobs, have a little chit chat, and Ian's talking about the group home. He's like, there's no fucking privacy. And Mickey's like, I cannot even imagine the kind of pussy you would be in Juvie. And
he's sensitive. He's sensitive.
And then Mickey very curiously asks, you fuck anyone in there yet? And he's like, no. And he's like, good. It's probably just a trick to see if you would, and then you're fucked over and not in a good way. I'm like,
But also, since Ian is a top, don't, like, juvie rules apply where it's like, if you're not taking in the ass, like, you're the man, quote unquote. Like, it's like, you're
real,
not.
like, quote unquote,
Because then if they're like, you want to fuck, it's like, if you're the top, it's quote unquote more about, like, oh, just getting off, not really. Because then Mickey, he's like, yeah, I fuck people in juvie, but, like, I topped, I don't bottom in juvie, because then I'm somebody's bitch.
But, like, he clearly only asked because he's a jealous little asshole.
Because they're literally boyfriends. Guys, they are literally in love.
I love when they, like, throw the can back and forth at each other. So cute. And then he gets all nervous and he, like, looks down while he's, like, restocking the watermelons or whatever. And he's like, you know, my dad's on a run out of town for a couple of days. You want to ditch that dump and crash at my place? That'd be cool. And Ian's like, was I just invited to a sleepover?
He goes, fuck you, that's what you were invited to.
And then he walks away and Ian's like, he's all pleased with himself.
For the record, everybody, I did not write any of those lines in our notes. We just know them.
Oh yeah, we just know them. Fuck you, that's what you were invited to.
They are literally in love with each other.
They're in love with each other. And they're giggly and they're cute and I love them. Because this is when they're best friends. This is like the moment where they're best friends.
But also they are crossing that threshold now because they've opened up the kissing floor. And so I'm like, I very much wonder what happened that night. Like, what were they doing? Were they just like, because they were like, oh, we kissed once, that's enough.
They fully made out. While that Steven Seagal movie was on. Yeah.
Good for them.
Mickey on top though because his butt hurt, so he probably couldn't lay down.
I mean, they were walking around naked the next day, so it's like they obviously were like
they were literally
like, we are fucking nonstop, and just not even bothering to get dressed because they were like, we know we're gonna do it again.
And good for them. Can you imagine what the world would be like if this episode didn't end the way it does? Like the Mickey we could have had so much sooner.
God.
But before we get to that,
it's whatever. I okay. Can I say something like kind of off topic? I honestly do not think they would have ended up together had some of the things that drove them apart not happened.
Yeah, if they had to fight for each other.
It was all about the fact that they had to fight for each other, and so they were like kind of trauma bonded in that way. Like, yes, they click in general because they're both from the same neighborhood. They have a lot in common. They have like very similar personalities. But
they like had to actively choose each other over and over and over again.
Yes, I think if they were never driven apart, they would have ended up just breaking up like later on when things got easier for them.
Yeah.
Because it was like almost there was nothing to fight for in that circumstance. They were given too many they were given too many things that it was like die or Mickey, and they're like, maybe I'm gonna go with the option number 2. Door number 2, please.
They had to be shown how shitty it was without each other and to not have the other person to realize like, oh fuck, I actually really need him back.
Especially when they're forced apart, yeah.
Over at V's house, Carl and Liam ran away from their foster parents. Carl...
Freaking... The fact that Carl was able to get that little baby out without anyone noticing.
He probably was just like, I'm leaving. And they were like all wrapped up in like whatever rich people think about. And they were like, okay, bye.
But they ran away and they run into V. And Carl's like, they're gonna try to keep Liam. Like, I had to get us the fuck out of there. And V's like, okay, I know what it's like when a foster kid runs away. It's not okay. You actually need to get back. And if you don't want them to keep Liam, you gotta make sure they have no reason to keep him. And yeah, okay, I'll keep your stolen box of shit at my house, I guess.
That line, though, from V, like, I feel like it wasn't taken as, like, to heart as, like, I guess because it wasn't told to, like, the right person, because obviously it was, like, little baby Carl. Like, imagine, like, how it feels to have, like, your fucking foster kid run away. Like, I was...
Well, because she actually really started to care about Ethel. Like, I think had Ethel not run away, they probably would have ended up keeping her.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because they did have a couple conversations about it.
Yeah, and, like, you can, obviously, afterwards, when she leaves, like, V put up a front. She was like, I actually really loved her, and I miss her, and I'm sad.
Getting back to the episode, we love a legend who writes herself apart in the episode. Alex Borstein is back, playing Frank's lawyer. She's like, I'm writing the episode, I'm gonna be in the fucking episode.
Whenever she's in the episode, it just adds something to it, and I love it.
She is super pregnant, because for a while, she was one of those women that was pregnant just all the time. But yeah, she wrote herself into the episode. She's super pregnant, but the character, she's like, it's not mine. So it's like the lawyer is a surrogate too. Still in that super cramped office. No dogs this time though. Fiona and Jimmy are there too. Frank's like, hello, I need your help getting my children back. And she's like, and the catch is, he's like, I have no money and no chance of getting any anytime soon.
And she's like, I guess I'll help you.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like, doesn't Frank make another comment about Jimmy being like super feminine? Because he's like, because she goes, who's this? And he goes, my daughter and her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Lesbian and Fiona rise.
Yes. And like, yeah, Alex Borstein's character, she's like, all right, I'm not getting paid, but like, yeah, I will help you get your kids back. And she says, like, we need to find Monica, because DFS is more likely to give the kids back if there are two parents. And they're like, you can't find Monica? Figure something out.
I love how whenever she has her scenes, she's always eating something too. She's like eating like a candy bar.
She's hungry.
Or like doing something. She's pregnant and she's hungry.
And like, she just immediately agrees, even though she's not going to get paid. And she's like, all right, here are the steps. You need to find Monica. Can't find Monica? Figure something out. Stay sober. Not even a poppy seed bagel. I need your piss clean and your eyes white. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she gets it down to the point and she's like, boom.
And then we go to Lip, who's doing his community service. He's scrubbing graffiti. When Mandy comes up saying Ian found a public phone and called her, so she tracked Lip down. She's like, you couldn't even fucking call me and tell me that you got removed?
She was like, I walked around the city all day looking for you. And I was like, Girl,
you're down bad. Well, and he's like, sorry, they took my phone. She's like, Ian managed.
Yeah.
Found a public phone. It's like, okay, Ian is built different.
Okay,
sorry.
Lip was sent immediately to community service. He wasn't like, let me call my girlfriend.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was being watched by people.
But then we get a verbal version of the end of Molly's storyline. Like, Mandy's like, Molly's mom showed up. She wasn't actually dead. And like, that was a scene that they shot and is a deleted scene. But it's Molly's mom shows up at the Gallagher house and Molly like runs away. But it's because her mom was like, that was a scene that happened that they just explain in this thing. They're like, Molly's mom showed up. She was never actually dead. She was just a runner. And Lip's like, you let her go back with her mom? And Mandy's like, I'm sorry, was I supposed to stop her? Like, what the fuck did you want from me?
Lip just wanted to play daddy.
And also, I feel like it's just a weird situation because they're like, she ran away. There had to be a reason.
But Mandy's like, I gave Mickey the house for the weekend. Do you want to crash with me somewhere? Because we can find somewhere to crash. And he's like,
No, she asks him, can I crash with you? And he's like,
I'm literally in a group home.
I'm literally in a group home. And then that whole like...
But then they're like, he's like, I could try to sneak you into the group home.
How did that conversation even go? Was Mickey like already thinking about it? And he's like, I want the house for the weekend alone.
Yeah, probably.
And she was like, why? And he was like, you don't need to know.
Yeah.
You don't need to know what I do by myself.
She probably knows at this point not to ask her brothers any questions. She's like, fucking fine. I'll get out of the house.
Fair.
For the weekend.
Well, because she has no possible inkling. And I feel like the Milkovich siblings probably caught on the fact that Mickey was seeing somebody, but they probably thought it was a girl.
Yeah.
But because she has no inkling at all that he's gay and seeing Ian.
I have it in my brain that Mickey and Angie Zago are actually really good friends, and whenever anybody asks who Mickey's sleeping with, or if they ask her if he's sleeping with her, she just says yes without any questions.
Just like Ian and Mandy. Well, and then like when the weird thing, like in episode 3 when he was like, did you really fuck Angie? I kind of have it in my brain that he didn't. He just went over and just sat there and was
no,
like,
I agree.
Hey.
Let's drink some beers.
Or he like couldn't get hard or something, and so he was like, I'm going home actually.
I think Angie was secretly his bestie and they just kept each other's secrets. That's what I'd choose. That's what I choose to have in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I love a complex backstory for Mickey.
That obviously doesn't exist.
That the writers don't give us. And then at the ball house, they're going over the foods that increase sperm count, and they're trying to think up a better way to get her mom pregnant than the turkey baster. And Kev's like, squirt gun. Silly straw.
The squirt gun part.
This is like peak Kev being an idiot.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Mhm.
this is the same season that gave us Circle doesn't start with an S, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And also, cat. I know that shit, bitch. That's a cat.
Back at the group home, the roll call happens before bed, and then Lip and Ian pay some guys off, and they sneak Ian out and Mandy in, and then Lip picks a lock in some private room, and they fuck in a private room.
It literally looks like a confession room. It's like terrifying.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like a confession booth. It might be a confession, because you know, like, a government mandated housing and shit and like all this stuff always is like slightly Christian.
They always got the scary religious.
Yeah. Lip and Mandy are fucking. And then at the Milkovich house, Ian and Mickey are on a date. Mickey is pulling pizza rolls out of the oven and they're arguing about who's more badass, Seagal or Van Damme. And then Ian says that's some Van Double Damn.
Van Double Damn. And he does that
Van
thing with his
Double
arms.
Damn.
Well, and it's like
beers in hand, cigarette in mouth. Ooh.
For people.
And they sit next to each other, and they're like a foot apart from each other on the couch, and they keep giving each other cute little looks when the movie starts up.
They're looking at each other when the other one isn't looking, and you know they both know.
For people to say, like, Ian and Mickey are the couple that has the most sex on the show, blah, 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 and it's like Lip and Mandy are literally having sex. Ian and Mickey are just, like, on a date hanging out.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out.
Because they're best friends. Like, they're a couple, but they're best friends.
Like, yes, they have a lot of sex, but also they're best friends with each other. So.
Yeah.
Because Lip and Mandy's, like, relationship was basically, like, built on just, like,
fucking
and never got to that emotional level. But Ian and Mickey, like, they had too many things that, like, turned into being, like, actually, wait, guys, we are friends. We don't need to just only fuck and not hate each other.
Well, yeah, because it was like Lip and Mandy was like sex immediately, no strings attached, and then suddenly it was like, okay, now we're in a committed now we're ghetto married, actually.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like they went from 0 to 100 very quickly on that, because they first had sex together in season 2. And then seemingly they did it a couple more times. But Ian and Mickey were like...
Like, it's weird to call Ian and Mickey a slow burn because they were just together the whole time. But, like, they kind of were also a slow burn. They, like, built it up really slowly and beautifully in the relationship.
Yeah.
Theirs was, like, no strings attached. Or, like, just random, like, kind of out of nowhere. And then it was friends with benefits. And then it was best friends with benefits. And then it was like, we are very committed to each other.
Starting with At Last Came a Knock. Starting with Monica is back, I need you. That was the beginning of it. That was the beginning of something real.
I agree.
Because then they tried to play it off as, like, friends with benefits. But it's like, no. Guys.
No, he needed the comfort.
Like, even after that, like, when Mickey went right to juvie, Ian checked in with him, made sure his commissary was full, talked to him afterwards. They met up immediately, got him a job. Like, they had been bonding that whole time.
Well, yeah. And like in season 2, it's like they ended on bad terms, but then at the beginning of season 3, it's implied that Ian talked to Mickey and they sorted it out, because he's like, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I sort of have a boyfriend. And then immediately when they met up, like when Mickey got out, they were like, we are back together, like nothing happened. Like, it's just like like they talk to each other and we never get any mention of it, and we never get to see it because they never talk to other characters about their relationship because it's a secret. And it's like, so now I have to connect all these dots in my head.
Yeah. But like,
and make up
scene,
stuff that doesn't exist.
I love this scene so much, and I love to imagine what their beautiful date night was like. And wouldn't it be great if their part of the episode ended right here? Wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be wonderful.
Right after the Benoit beads are shown, that's when the episode ends.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, we're back at V's house. So she's trying to talk Kev into fucking her mom. And they're both like, are you out of your fucking mind?
I love the zoom
it's
in.
The immediate cut to, are you out of your fucking mind? She goes, Kev's just gonna lie down to you for procreation.
And V's like, I want more than anything to give you a child. And apparently I can't. So I need you to fuck my mom so I can give you a child.
Love
Speaking of fucking moms, Jody is installing a light and says it's super hot. Again, I just finished Black Sails and I am obsessed with Zach McGowan at the moment. Like, I'm begging you all to watch that fucking show. But Jody is installing a light. He's like, it's super hot up here. And Sheila's like, well, that's because heat rises. Like,
I think because Jaime's in the room too.
And then Jody says, well, then how come space is so cold?
Valid question.
You see Sheila look up and like have like a and also I love this scene because in the middle of this conversation when Jody's installing the light, he gets like electrocuted like while he's doing it,
like,
and he's like ugh. And then he's just like, okay, and then goes back to normal. There's like no mention of it. You just watch this bitch get electrocuted.
Zach McGowan was like, I'm doing improv. I'm improving.
Like,
him and Sheila, honestly, they bounce so well. It's so good.
They were really, they had a lot of like fun chemistry. Like I did not like them as a couple, but like
I felt no like love chemistry.
No love chemistry, but very good familial chemistry, which is why it was good that he did end up with Karen in the end.
But like it's just Zach and Joan just like working really well together, and like I really liked it. Yeah,
they're just having fun.
Jody, like, don't ever change, you beautiful, respectful, sexy himbo. Like, I love you, sir. And then there's a knock at the door, and it's Frank, and Jody is furious because the last time they saw Frank, he left Jaime alone in the house while Sheila was at therapy, and he like fights his way in, and even Sheila's like, get the fuck out of the house. But Fiona's like, hey, wait, listen. This is not for Frank. This is for the kids. We need your help to get the kids back. And Jody says, I think you should do it, Shelly Bear. Shut the fuck up.
Jody.
Calls her Shelly Bear. It's so cute.
It's what she deserves.
But Fiona lays it on thick. She's like, it's for Debbie. It's for Carl. We need your help. I'm like,
it's for Liam.
How was Sheila ever gonna say no to that? She was never gonna say no to that. Back at the ball house, Veronica's mom is getting absolutely plastered to be able to get through sex with Kev. And Kev is trying to make it like really dark in the room to make it less weird, but there is no making it less weird. And then over at the Gallagher house, Fiona asks Jimmy to help her with Frank while she runs errands for the kids. And Debbie, meanwhile, is sneaking her foster mom's phone to text Fiona the address of where she is. Like, this is just a lot of jump cutting to different situations. So, like, Debbie sneaks her foster mom's phone, sends Fiona the address, and then, like, deletes the conversation from her foster mom's phone.
Smart little girl.
That, like, iPhone 4, like, green bubble gray background.
the literal box.
At DFS, Sheila has a wig on, a blonde wig on. She's posing as Monica. Like, they zoom in from like a picture of Monica.
Smile she does.
It's a picture of Monica that they tilt up to Sheila, and she's like, it's been a while since I got my picture. And Frank's like, we had a bad batch of meth. You know what that does? She lost a bunch of weight, and that's why her face looks a little
Aren't
different.
they wearing the same outfit
in the photo as she is in in real life? Yeah. She's like, I only have 2 articles of clothing.
But like, and they explain it the way they're like, it was a bad batch of meth. She lost a lot of weight. She's doing better now, though. Look, check her out. So they say Brittany is convinced and says that Frank and Monica need to take parenting classes before they can get the kids back. And Sheila kind of likes the idea of taking a parenting class
because she's like, maybe that can help me realize what went wrong with Karen. And I was like,
yeah, she's still reeling from losing Karen. But it's like, Sheila, you like, I feel bad. I did like the end of their storyline when they have that conversation before Karen goes out to meet Lip, and she's like, I'm sorry that I have mental illness and that I couldn't get my meds balanced, and Karen just has to be like, it's okay, like I can't hold it against you. But Sheila's like, maybe if I was like different, she wouldn't have been so evil. And it's like, she wasn't evil. I think Karen genuinely only did like maybe 2 things actually wrong, and other characters have done way worse shit that we've forgiven them for.
Yeah.
I really like Karen, guys.
I don't.
I genuinely blame the things that fucked Karen up and made Karen the way she was on Eddie. Like, yeah, some of Sheila's mental health issues surely affected Karen, but like, Sheila did nothing but try her best for that kid.
But it's also like, everybody sides with Lip in this whole Lip versus Karen shit, and it's like, Lip was a fucking asshole too. Like, he is evil. Like, so we've forgiven him for doing more heinous things than whatever Karen did him. I think she's got major daddy issues, and I think she was good to the people that mattered because she was the best for Sheila. She supported her so much.
Like, the way she treated him fucked up the way he views relationships forever, and the way he treated her fucked up the way she views relationships forever. Like, they fucked each other up.
And everybody just like villainizes her, and it's like, guys, Lip was evil too. Yeah. They were just toxic for each other. But all those other characters being like, Karen screwed you up. Like, I don't know, Lip, maybe if you like were better in touch with your feelings, you would do better.
Yep.
So after that long tangent, we're sorry. We literally just keep finding reasons to not get to the end of this episode.
At this point, it's unintentional.
So we're joining Fiona. She stops at Debbie's foster home to see if Debbie is doing all right. And Debbie puts on the brave face, the like, fuck you, I'm a Gallagher face. And she plays the whole situation down. She's like, it's not that bad. Everything's fine. They sit on the porch. Fiona's like, I brought you books and clothes and this bag of Hershey's Kisses. They were like gold last time I was in a foster home. And Debbie puts a little Hershey's Kiss on Fiona's knee, and they, like, sit with each other and eat Hershey Kisses on the porch.
That scene when Debbie just, like, gives it to her, I'm just like, ow.
Before she was so mean and evil to Fiona, like, all the time. I hate Fiona, I hate Fiona, I hate Fiona. And then asks Fiona for everything.
They're just sweet little, like, it's just it's sweet little sister time, and it's really cute. At the group home, Lip covers for Ian. It's the next morning, and it's like breakfast time, and the guy comes over with Ian's papers. He's like, where the fuck is Ian? And Lip's like, when you feed us garbage, it turns out our bodies hate it, so he is in the bathroom with diarrhea right now. You want me to go get him? And the guy's like, give him his papers. I need to see him at lights out. It's like, okay, okay, sir. So Lip just good. They had that cover story ready to go.
He is not in the bathroom.
Yeah, he is in fact at the Milkovich house. But before we get there, Liam is drawing all over his foster dad's wall. And Carl's like, yeah, that's right. Draw all over that place. And Carl is pissing on the chairs in the dining room.
This is pretty genius of him, though.
Yeah, because he took what V said to Hart. He's like, give them reasons not to want to keep him. And so Fiona comes to visit the boys, and she asks how I don't know how she found out where they are.
V, probably.
But she asks how the boys are doing. So there's a moment where she's holding Liam, and the guys are, like, talking to her. And Liam grabs her face. Like, it was totally on accident. It's just like the baby was grabbing Fiona's face. And she's like, we're gonna take care of the spinning arms. We gotta watch out for the spinning arm. And, like, it's
because of the wacky lawn. Because they're like, oh yeah, we give him a bat. He's talking about the bidet in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh yeah, we use a lawn sprinkler for that in the summer. And she's like, but we gotta watch out for the spinning arms. And
he like squeezes her cheeks. It's
I love that no one else in the scene, like, broke and was like, aw, I'm glad that the rest of the people in the scene kept going, because then that scene just kept on flowing, and it was so good, because I love when, like, because the little babies never know, like, you can't control them. My favorite thing was
when they just work through things with the babies, when they just keep going through the scene, it makes it feel more real.
And that's probably one of my favorite, like, most referenced Fiona Liam moments is, like, him grabbing her and her, oh, it's so cute. And, like, you could tell it's a comfortability with them too, and like she feels like his big sister in that moment. It's so cute.
And that baby probably loved all those kids so much.
So the foster dads have already filed paperwork to adopt Liam. They've been fostering him for 1 day. How is that possible?
It's also them being like, we really wanted a mixed race baby.
How are they able, like, especially being put in the system that fast, are they able to get adopted out without their legal guardian still having time to go in and to, like, claim them, quote unquote?
They said that they filed the paperwork, but obviously it's like the state's gonna wait until the legal guardian gets their shit together, maybe. Or because it's like, I feel like in that instance, it's either like there's a time that they have to max out, or the guardian's like, okay, I'm signing over rights.
Yeah. It's also just an unrealistic portion of the show, like, that we forgive.
Whatever.
But Carl blames the mess. He goes to sit on the seat, and he's like, the seat's wet. Liam, did you pee on the seat? And then they see the wall, and of course the gay dads are stereotypically like, my walls, and like they freak out about the like color on the wall, like
the paint.
The color is some like stupid like prissy name.
It's literally paint. You can paint over it.
Yeah. And then, like, within that, like, when they're worrying about the wall, there's another great Liam and Fiona moment. Liam's, like, pointing to the mess, and she's like, did you do that? Did you do that? Oh, no. Like, it's...
And he's like, yeah, and she's like... What?
Like, it's definitely not scripted. They just pointed the camera at her and let it go, and, like, oh, it's cute. It's so cute. So we soak in that happiness. Let's take in that joy. Let's remember that joy, because we're going to need it. And we're going to pause here. To remind you all, like I said, we're going to let you know the trigger...
The episode ends. What are you talking... The episode's over, Wait. Amanda.
What are you talking about? The episode ended there. I actually have to physically cringe when we talk about this.
On a serious note, we need to put the trigger warning right here. From here, for the next couple of minutes, we're going to be talking about the rape of Mickey Milkovich, and it's going to be intense, and we're very sorry. And if we laugh, it's because we're uncomfortable, and it's really upsetting. Yeah, so that is right here. We're going to start talking about it right now. So it's the next morning. Mickey walks into the living room. He and Ian are both butt naked, and you could see like the bullet wounds on Mickey's ass, and he's holding Benoit beads. And it's a really soft, sweet moment of the two of them, and like like it's just like a morning boyfriend's cute moment. And Ian's like, I gotta get to work, but we can like have sex real quick. And
it's so sensual compared to all their other like sex quote unquote scenes, because it's more like banging like right away, do it as fast as you can, like hard, like fast, but it's like they're very sincere, especially with Mickey like injured. They're being very gentle and they're taking it slow.
Not to get too like I'm exaggerating or like making up shit, but it's like with the inclusion of him being like, here's a toy that I use on myself, would you like to use it on me? It's like, yes, opening up that wall to them, but it's also very much like there's a practical reason for it, because he's like, I am physically injured right now. I still am interested in you and would like to have sex with you, but it causes me pain. Do you want to do this instead? Like, instead of just being, we are not fucking at all, it's like, let's fuck in a more intimate way because I am injured.
And it's like they are both smiling, and like Mickey has like one of those genuine Mickey smile on his faces and not like a little smirk. And so they start to have, Ian's like, I'll take it easy on your injured cheek.
And he's like, all right.
And we get,
they're so sweet.
They like start to have sex, and it's quiet for a moment. And then the front door opens and Terry Milkovich comes in, and Ian and Mickey freak out and they scramble to put their boxers on, and Terry comes in swinging and he pins Ian down, and Mickey jumps on his back and screams, get the fuck off of him, and wrestles him off of Ian. And then Terry gets Mickey down and beats him. He beats him in the face. And when Ian tries to run, Terry pulls his gun on him and points it at Ian. I choose to believe Ian was running to get a weapon or running to get help and not just leaving Mickey behind.
I think that's implied as well, because it's not even like he's like trying to grab his clothes or anything like that. Like he's literally just
trying
like,
to find the next closest thing to him.
Because you can see him like looking around.
Yeah. And like, there's another weapon in this house somewhere.
For sure.
But Terry pulls his gun on him and stops him from moving, and then he puts the butt of his gun to Mickey's face and knocks him out.
He pistol whips him.
Yeah.
That, like, pistol whipping, like, that shit can literally kill you. Like, it's...
Well, because it's blunt force trauma.
Yeah, it's such an intense, like, blunt force trauma and stuff like that. The one thing about this scene that I feel like it's such a raw, very intimate, hard scene to watch, but my one thing beef with Shameless writers is the way they pace it. Like, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, the way how they use some effect or whatever, during the scene, they're using that slow motion, like,
there's like
backwards kind of like thing. And then there's dubstep music. Like, that just takes me so out of it.
See, I disagree.
Because, like,
I think the music in this scene was really effective. Like, I've always really,
Really?
it all, because it like shook me up. It was like, it was like an unsettling moment. It wasn't like some stupid, like, clubby thing. It felt
right. It felt metal. Well, it's like, and it's like, I honestly feel like if they hadn't done it, like if they had just played it completely serious, completely straight, and like filmed it that way too, I would have been like, this is too much for me right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is a lot.
It couldn't just be the sounds of the fight. Like, we needed to have something under it. And probably the combination of the slow-mo and the way it was shot was also probably trying to like hide some there's a camera guy in the shot, like, trying to hide some stuff.
Stunt people for the like the hitting. And so it's like,
true. I didn't even think about that.
Because like one thing also, and like, sorry to get off topic, but it's like in the bar fight scene from Emily, you can see the back pad on Cameron when they smash the chair over his back. You can see it as he runs to go tackle somebody. And so it's like, when you you won't catch it, because it's like, why are you paying attention to that? But then when you do, it ruins the whole thing. I
also want everybody in this scene, like Cameron Knoll and Dennis Cochran in this scene, are all like really fantastic, and like,
Dennis
phenomenal.
Is amazing.
As much as we shit on Terry, it's because Dennis does a really good job making him a villain.
Yeah.
And I think he is such a sweet old man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He's just happy. His Instagram is so sweet. Like, he's just like, that's the one thing that, like, we've talked about this before, and like, there's a character, like, we hate them so much, but that means they're doing their job.
Yeah, like, I'll never be able to watch him in anything else and not see Terry Milkovich. Like, every time I see the guy that plays Cash, I'm like, fuck you, it's Cash. Even if it's a likable character in the thing that I'm watching.
That's me with Noel. Every time I see Noel, I'm like, that's Mickey.
Every time I see Dennis Cochran, I'm like, that's Terry, and I hate him. But, like, it's because Dennis is such a good actor that Terry is so terrifying.
Yeah, there's only a handful of actors on this show that I genuinely beef with, and I feel like we already know who they are.
Yeah. But, so Terry directs Ian to sit down. He's got Mickey knocked out because he pistol whipped him, and he gets on his phone, and we hear... I remember in the promo for this episode, it's Terry saying, send over the Russian. And for weeks, when we all saw that in a promo, we were like, or however long it took when we first saw that promo, we're like, is that, he calling an assassin? He's calling a hitman to fucking kill one of them. Like, that was the thought in our heads. So...
Oh, yeah. Because it's so vague.
That was the purveying theory all over Twitter when that happened. People were like, he's calling a fucking hitman. One of them is going to die. And...
Well, it would be Mickey because Ian is a main character.
We were freaked the fuck out for like a long time. So what actually happens in this, like, it comes out of left field and is like so jarring. But before we get to it, we go briefly to Sheila and Frank sitting in their assigned parenting classes, and they role play a stupid fight. And the only reason for this scene seems like so that they could have a time jump in what's happening with Ian and Mickey, because it's literally like a 30-second nothing scene, and we go right back to Ian and Mickey.
Yeah.
Just to have a time jump for Svetlana to get there.
I think it's important that they had, because obviously the assassin thing is like whatever, but I think with the themes of like family and like not turning your back on family, like I think it's important that Terry chose to quote unquote, and like the way I say, I have to be very careful about the way I say this because I know I need to express it the right way. I think it's important and it's telling that they had Terry choose to quote unquote spare Mickey and instead of just straight up killing him.
Yeah.
Instead of having his father shoot him in the face for being gay, he tried to quote unquote like rehab him.
Yeah.
Fix him.
He wanted to fix him because he actually, on a weird, deep, fucked up level, is like, this is my son and I want to change him so that he's like more fitting for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this woman comes in. We learn later that her name, like, we don't learn anything about her in this episode except for this scene. It's Isadora Goreshter. She's playing Svetlana. We're gonna see a lot more of her in the future. Isadora, we love you, Izzy.
I'm just curious. How old was Isadora when she started?
In her 20s.
Shameless?
In her 20s, I think.
20s
Yeah,
well?
she was young, and I also know that for her audition, she did have to get naked for her audition.
Ooh.
Yeah. It wasn't even like they were like, oh, so if we sign you on because you're a good actor, are you comfortable with nudity? They were straight up just like, titties out now.
That's really upsetting to hear.
And she had to do that because in this scene, she walks into the house. She's in a short dress. She looks like she doesn't know what she walked into either.
She definitely looking rough. Like, that girl is not just any old person.
She looks strung out. Yeah. Terry points at Mickey, who is like beat up. His face is swollen and he's just like lying prone on the couch. He can't move. And he points at Mickey and tells her she's gonna fuck the gay out of him. And Ian has to watch at gunpoint. And I'd like to commend Cam and Noel in this scene because the subtle facial expressions in this scene are what makes it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ian and Mickey can't take their eyes off of each other until Ian, Mickey is staring at Ian and Ian is staring at Mickey as Svetlana climbs on top of him. And Ian looks down and bites at his hand because he can't watch. And you can see the moment in Mickey's face where he where he breaks,
where he's like, I know what I have to do.
He's like, he can't even look at me anymore. So you can see the determination.
He knows that he has to commit because if he doesn't, neither of them are getting out of there alive.
Yeah.
Yep, because Terry's there watching.
Yeah.
It.
So he's it's sucks because Ian is so, after this, is so upset with him. I can't believe you did that, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe you're committing to this woman. And Mickey's like, I did this for you.
Yeah.
I did this to protect you. Because if I didn't, you would be dead.
I wish that we had ever gotten that conversation. I wish we'd ever gotten that conversation because this moment is so important. You can see Mickey give up on all that happiness and all that joy we saw early on, all that connection we had with Ian and Mickey early in this episode. A tether breaks in this scene and he gives up and he flips Svetlana over and he acts like he's into it and he just tries to get this over with. And it's just, it fucks me up.
Because Ian does go to see him later, like in the abandoned buildings, and he's trying to like joke about it, and then he's like, I'm just trying to make sure you're okay. And Mickey's like, I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey doesn't say anything for like 2 scenes.
But it is also like, he's like, I feel like a beacon because I have a target on my back. If anybody sees me with you, if he sees me with you, you are dead.
Yeah.
And he is, at the end of the day, he's like, I'm trying to protect you by isolating myself.
Everything unspoken that comes after with them in this is like, fucks me up. The rest of this season is, ugh. All right, so we're gonna take a deep breath. We're gonna get out of this. And this next scene is why I said at the beginning of this episode, I have a little bit of beef with this episode, because I don't like this sexual nature of what's going on with Kev and V and V's mom right up against what just happened with Mickey, because it is two very different situations.
Yes, but it is also like, I don't know, because like everybody's got like, it's basically just the idea of everybody's having sex they don't want to have.
But those are two wildly different things,
right?
From,
of course,
from what's going on.
It also, I feel like people erase a lot that like Svetlana was raped too.
She was,
yeah,
by Terry. Like people.
It doesn't excuse some of her later behavior, but yes.
Well, because she's trying to make the best, because I think you do have to look at it from like an immigrant perspective, where it is like she is trying to latch on.
There's a level of her trying to protect herself, and then I feel like there's a line that she sometimes does cross of protecting herself and then of acts of violence against Mickey. Like, it's...
Because it is like she really doesn't like him that much.
Yeah.
So for her to be... So instead of her being like, okay, we're gonna play nice when your dad's here, she's like, I want you to commit to me when nobody else is around. And he's like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Sorry again that we're talking about future stuff. It's just that this episode is everything.
But I feel like people erase a lot, like, Svetlana's trauma, too. And they, like, villainize her in later seasons, too, like, because of what she did to Kev and V. But it's like, she thought she was doing the right thing.
Yeah. But speaking of Kev and V, like I said, Kev and V and V's mom are trying to have sex again, and it's, like, not working, and shit's going weird. Again, sex that isn't working and then being sexually assaulted, two very fucking different things, and I don't like that they're back to back in this episode. That's like my one beef with this episode, is that there's no separation between it.
I don't think it's good writing to put two sex scenes right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're happening at the same time, like where it's like cutting
like
from
an
one to
intercut
the other.
montage.
An intercut montage. I don't think it's good writing to put two sex scenes next to each other because it's too similar.
Yeah. It's
like, why? Then it feels like the whole thing's all about sex.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
But now we're at the Gallagher house. Fiona's saying this whole situation is like when a plane goes down. She says, it's never one thing that causes it. It's a chain reaction. What do they call that? Cascading failures. Title drop.
It literally is such a perfect description for this episode. It is cascading failures. Yeah. One bad thing after another.
To his credit, Jimmy in this episode is actually really supportive, and he's helpful in pulling Fiona out of her stress cycle. And if I didn't know he had just cheated on her, I would be very much pro Jimmy right now. But I know he just cheated on her. So back in the parenting classes, Sheila is trying to figure out how she would discipline Karen if Karen ever did come back home. Being very specific in her instructions, and the class is not helpful. And meanwhile, Frank is like tweaking. He's like, I need a Valium right now. Like he's tweaking out, and Sheila fights him on it. She's like, your pee needs to be clean though. But she gives him the Valium. He gets up and goes over to the refreshment table and takes a piss in a plastic cup, and then he takes the Valium.
I hate that Sheila still gave it to him.
She just like wanted him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Well, he was getting hella annoying about it.
Yeah. And then back at Kev and V's house, they are trying again for Kev to fuck V's mom, and they rearrange it all so that V is sitting on Kev's face while her mom rides him, and again, I hate this. I hate this
scene so much.
Back at CPS, Monica and Frank are doing their drug tests. Frank is being really quiet while not Monica and Frank, Sheila and Frank. But while Sheila's trying to pretend to be Monica, and she's like trying to make jokes about, last time I did a pee test was when I was pregnant with Liam, and he's not answering, because he goes into the bathroom, and we find out it's because he had his pee in his mouth so that he could spit it into the cup while doing the test because he's disgusting.
And also so it could still be warm.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had his pee in his
Horrifying.
mouth.
I'd rather go to jail than put my pee in my mouth.
Yeah. The next day at the ball house, shit is super awkward. And Fiona comes in. She's like, what's happening here? What is this vibe? And V tells her what just happened. And there's a great Fiona line. Jesus, V, I'm so wrapped up in my own pity party. I had no idea what kind of biblical shit you had going on here.
I love that line.
It's a great line. And it's a great moment of a best friend going like, hi, I know I'm complaining a lot, but like, could you inform me as to what's happening in your fucking scenario happening over here? V hates this. She's very much not into it. She's pushing past it. And then we go to Fiona back at the CPS office, checking in with Brittany. She's like, did Frank do all the things? Is everything going all right? And Brittany's like, you've done good, Fiona. You're a great sister. Oh, by the way, let me say that last moment of Ian and Mickey is the last moment we see of them in this episode. We get no fucking follow-up, which like bothers me a lot.
Nothing else. It just leaves it at such like a sore like point because you're like, what happened?
And like, Ian is still at gunpoint in the Milkovich home. Like,
yeah.
And we get nothing.
And especially with him still having to go back to like juvie and shit like that. Like, Terry doesn't give a shit like if he has any like curfew.
But Fiona asks Brittany, she's like, okay, I have to ask again. How did we end up on DFS's radar? Like, who called it in for us? And Brittany's like, oh, it was an anonymous phone call from a man. And Fiona's like, what the fuck? A man? Men never call. Men never give a shit. What the fuck do you mean?
Yep.
Because she does say, like, oh, I bet it, she's like, it was an anonymous phone call. And then she goes, oh, I bet it was that bitch who we turned her kid away from daycare. And then she's like, it was a man, actually, like, according to my notes. And then she's like, oh, what are you talking about?
Fiona asks, how is it fair that someone can make one phone call that ruins our lives and they get to be anonymous? Which is a good point. And Brittany seems to agree because she's like,
you could see like her shift change because she was like, you know what, you right.
This was the exact kind of family Brittany needed to have early in her career to learn that the rules are bullshit. Like, this is the exact thing that she needed. Because Brittany's like, you know what? I have to go to the bathroom. I would very much appreciate if you did not play this audio file that's up on my screen right now while I'm gone. And she gets up and leaves and like walks away from the computer. And so Fiona goes around and clicks the button and she's listening to the message, and you slowly hear her, you see her recognize that it's Frank's voice, and then you see murder in her eyes.
Oh my god, she looks into a different person.
She goes from confusion to recognition to disbelief to disappointment to anger.
Yeah.
So
the rage
like
in her
like
eyes.
with no words, and it's like, oh my god, Emmy.
Like,
Emmy for
her
Emmy.
glossy eyes and clenched jaw, you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The more like stone her jaw got, you were like, oh, murder. She's got murder on her face. That she's going to find Frank and set him on fire. Like, it's, ooh. And that's how the episode ends. Like, it ends on murder eyes.
It ends on that. But then it ends to one of Shameless's best end credit songs in the history of the TV show, All You Leave Behind by Hannah Cartwright.
Oh my god, All You Leave Behind is fucking brilliant.
That song, so the way they do a lot of songs at the end of Shameless is that they cut in the middle of the song. Sometimes it's like the scene playing into the song or whatever, but more than that, it's like the middle of the song. But this song, like if you just listen to it on, it's so spooky. Like it has such an eerie, like intense feeling to it that it works so well with that playing right after this scene. And like I remember watching this scene for the very first time, like back in like high school when I was watching it, and this song has stuck with me for like that whole like 7 years because it's just so good.
Yeah, same. It's still in my playlist. It's just like the impending doom that song expresses is insane.
And there's no after credit scene because like what could you follow up Murder Eyes
Yeah.
with? You can't follow.
Like they aren't gonna add some little jokey scene like they do.
Yeah, not after that episode, not after
Not
all
the
of that.
time.
And I didn't know you guys had such a strong connection to that song. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah. There are songs from this show that have stuck with me. Like I can
That
name
one and Tongues.
I think Where the Ocean Is by Shadow for sure. Sleep Forever by Portugal the Man. Portugal the Man is one of my favorite fucking bands.
Dugout Scene.
Basic Instinct by The Acid. I listened to that song all the time by myself, and it's one of those songs
that song transports me into a different world.
You can't be doing anything when you're listening to it. You just have to sit and listen. Sit your ass down and listen.
Amanda, I recommend sit down and listen to All You Leave Behind.
I will add it.
And like,
I'll add it to my list.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Where I'm Coming From, Bronze Radio Return, The Ends of the Earth, Lord Huron. There are some amazing musical moments in this show. Like I made a couple videos on my Twitter where I like put together the scenes with the songs, and I was just saying like, this song is amazing and it was perfect for this scene, and it sucks because we after season 7 probably we never got that.
Lena, you should do a screenshot of any playlist that you have. We could put it on the Instagram and let people know what Spotify playlist to find.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh,
I can do like best songs from Shameless, because I know there's playlists with like all of the songs, but I picked out the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's different from like listening to a playlist with all the songs, because the vibe shift change will change if you just skip a song. So like it's different. Like I know like your playlist has more of like a flow to it than it's just like every Shameless song that has ever been in the show.
Yeah. But this song was really good, and then we get the next week. My copy I had the next week on Shameless. Next week, Fiona's got a lawyer. She's getting the kids. We're gonna get an incredible Emmy scene in the next episode. Like, holy shit.
And the downfall of Jimmy, too, for him being a little bitch about things.
Because immigration is getting suspicious of Jimmy and Estefania. The Gallaghers try to file a will and a death certificate for Ginger so they can get the house, and find out somebody else already has. And then Jaime's dad shows up at Sheila's door, and Fiona goes to court to take away Frank's paternal rights, and it's brilliant. Like, that next week, I can't believe Emmy didn't win an award for that scene. It's
for sure
insane to me.
For her work this entire season. She has so many good moments this season. But yeah.
Amanda, the scene you're referencing, are you talking about when they're in the courtroom?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when she's telling the story about Ian and the chickenpox. We'll get to it,
that scene.
But yeah, it's a lot. And you can see Ian like in the back like really grappling with it too, because he was so young he doesn't remember. But Jimmy being a little bitch, being evil.
So next, like we said, 3B fucks. 3B is really, really good. Yeah. And this is this episode sets the tone for 3B. Like last episode.
And for season 4.
Yeah. Last episode was the lead up to it. But this episode is like, this is what this season is going to be. This is what next season is going to be.
And if it's for reference about how good this episode is and how much it sets up, we've been recording for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are crazy.
And we collectively have seen every episode. Like, you guys have seen every episode, what we've seen through the end of the series. This has always, since it aired, stood out as one of our favorite episodes of all time.
It's
as much as people talk shit on it, because it's like, so like there are some very evil, sinister, heinous moments in it because of, what happens to Mickey. But so they call it like 30666. But it's like, if you took that scene out, this episode would still be an absolute standout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's performances are fantastic.
Yeah. Obviously, like, drama.
So that's how we feel about this. I feel like collectively that's how we feel about this episode. This episode is not one that someone who is a, like, diehard fan of Shameless can ever, like, forget or skip over, or, like, it's just sticks with you. Like, this and Emily are like, my two standouts, like, forever and always. But
Emily's so sad, but I still comfort watch it. It's my comfort episode.
It's so good.
But like, I cannot believe that the man who directed this, directed Emily, directed 506. Like, motherfucker, what are you doing to me?
Banger after banger. Banger after banger, Mr. Anthony.
They've been my favorites forever, and I didn't know that the same person did all of them. Like, fuck you.
That's the fun part about the podcast, is we get to deep dive onto things like who worked on what, and like also just like things that we've learned behind the scenes from like passing information on and stuff. And it's just like,
and like,
wow.
like in episodes where I'm like, oh cool, the DOP directed this, I am more likely to notice the camera shots in that episode because I know the DOP did it. Like, and these are our collective feelings.
Yes.
I don't think we need to break it down any further than that, because again, we have been recording for 1 hour and 45 minutes. I knew this episode was going to be longer than most. So getting out of how dark this episode was, let's just plug ourselves, huh? You can follow the Luck We Had on Instagram and Twitter at luckwehadpod. You can email us luckwehadpod@gmail.com. We'd love when you guys do that. Please rate, review, and subscribe the show if you like it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to do those things. That's fine. Keep that to yourself. You can follow me at abnormalamanda on Twitter, at abnormalamanda18 on Instagram, at abnormalamanda_18 on TikTok, who has been shadow banning me for a fucking week. And where can they follow you guys?
Evan, go first.
Well, they can't follow you, Lena.
Oh, okay. I will go first. You can find me on Instagram at Kojak, COJACKK. You can find me on Twitter at Durs Holmvik, like from Workaholics, but the L is an I. Fun. And then you can find me at TikTok at FRLEDMAN. Evan, where can they find you?
You guys can go ahead and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I wanna die4000, and then you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at InternetLifeYo.
We really hope you guys enjoyed this extra long episode of 306. We're sorry it couldn't be helped. This is just how it's gonna be. Don't worry, some of the episodes in later seasons are gonna be super fucking short, either because it'll be my first time watching them or because they will simply be bad. We promise the episodes do.
Dude, Emily, we are going to record for like 3 hours straight on Emily.
Oh yeah.
But that was 306. We did it. I can't believe we got through it. And you guys will be back in 2 weeks. We are posting every 2 weeks now. Get ready for the back half of season 3 because it's gonna be fucking epic. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here, shall we?
Thank you so much for listening also, because I know our listenership has been up, so thank you so much. It's awesome.
All right, so thank you everybody. Okay. And for now, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.